Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year, Wiffle World, and Happy New Season of Dirtyard Dish. My name is Rudy Lyon, the host of today's Dirtyard Dish episode, the first installment of Season 4. We know last year was some limited episodes, a lot of busy schedules, especially as we prepped to host the NCAA tournament, kind of kept us off of YouTube and Spotify for a good chunk of the summer. But we're back, and we have a big plan for this upcoming season that was laid out in our winter meetings with the CCW committee that took place right here in ProX Athlete Development. I'm here in the conference room where ideas were bounced around and ways for us to generate momentum and excitement for the upcoming season, planning out dates, coming up with new rules, things of that nature. I'm going to be sharing all those with you today on this episode, kind of a recap or a Cliff Notes version of all that's been discussed. You may have seen some of it announced on our social media platforms already, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like from the baggers. Back home again. Back home again. In Indiana land.
So as I teased in the opener, the basic premise of today is what's new in 2022. Now there's going to be a lot of fun, exciting changes that are coming in 2022 for CCW. A lot of it's still staying the same, but we have really come up with some creative ideas, taking some of the best examples of how to run a league from different leagues all over the country, whether it's Northwest Indiana, Minnesota, Missouri. We've been in discussion with these other leagues and love hearing some of the excitement that they can generate through their league styles and also giving it our own little CCW flavor. So we'll get in. We'll just warm up first off by getting into some rule changes. Some were much needed or just little tweaks clarified so far as they created some confusion last year. So as you can see behind me, you'll be able to follow along with the slideshow. We no longer are going to have just a three-man lineup. We're going to require that there be 4 batters to a lineup in any given game. That's going to be the bare minimum. So we want to be able to fill every single base, leave no misinterpretation for ghost runners or pinch runners or things of that nature. Moving on, our pitchers, we are very cognizant and aware of workload for pitchers. We know that arms can rag out over the course of the summer. This is a little bit of a protection of our arms, especially earlier on, but we also didn't want it to be so hard and fast where we mimicked the NWLA tournament rule of if you pitch 2 innings plus 1 pitch, you're no longer eligible to pitch the next game. So this way, with having a max of 6 innings pitched per day, which generally will be a doubleheader, that gives some creativity and flexibility for our pitchers. So if you have someone throw 3 innings in game 1, they can pitch game 2 and get 3 innings in. Now we obviously know that some will be a little apprehensive to do that because it's hard to re-warm up to get into another game. So we know that probably many will just pitch the regular 6 innings and be done. But this is going to maybe allow for some new arms to develop over the course of the season. Now, the reason why that's important is because of the 6 innings limit is because we're adding the no time limit. Games will be completed, total 6 innings, barring any run rule, of course, that occurs during the game. So if there's a blowout, the game will be cut short. But there won't be any 45, 50, or 55-minute running clock anymore. We're focusing on getting everyone basically their money's worth for innings, not necessarily games. So with the way our schedule shakes out, we're probably going to get somewhere between 80 to 100 innings per team in the upcoming season. And then there was some confusion as far as the pitch to hit rules went. We know we took a page out of Leroy's book with throwing in pitch to hit after a ball 5. Some teams thought it was after a 4th consecutive ball on the lob that you would add a base to the free base, like making it a 2-base walk or a 3-base walk. But it's going to be in intervals of 5. Put it on the record now. If you're a CCW fan or a CCW player, now you know it's going to be intervals of 5. Now, moving on, talking about rosters, these are a couple other tweaks we've added. Expanded roster sizes. And you'll understand why here in a second. But 7-player active roster with a 3-player inactive roster. These can be interchanged throughout the season, and more details will be coming out about the specifics of this in a later episode. So I don't want to bury the lead there or over tease that. But the one thing that I'm particularly excited about roster composition upcoming is this minimum 1 rookie draft pick. So we're going to be hosting a kind of a rookie draft tournament in May in the 2 weeks leading up to our opening day in June. And one team is going to have to pick a complete newcomer to wiffle ball. Like, they've never played in an organized league. Some are very aware that CCW has gained some attention on TikTok in a viral nature. And with that came a ton of people knocking on our door saying, hey, how do I get in as a free agent? How do I sign up a team? And we're hoping that this is going to be a way for us to annually get new players into the league year in, year out. Now with scheduling, I mentioned that on a previous slide a little bit. We're moving to a weekly Sunday format. Previously we've done like Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. We're getting to a point in life where all of our players are in their mid-20s mostly, and it's just hard to be able to facilitate a 3-day schedule. Now, we usually only play on one of those days, but we want something that's a little more consistent, a little more hard and fast. So we're going to this weekly Sunday game schedule with Wednesday night Wiffle. It's going to be a fully produced Twitch stream. We're going to have a lot of help from one of our media guys and Alex Gerchif, and we're just really going to ramp that up. Remains to be seen how much we're going to advertise or promote our Sunday games, but we definitely want that Wednesday game to be highlighted, and that's going to be a 2-game series between 2 teams that's essentially playing as our Thursday night football, like what the NFL does. Because every team will be in action on Sunday, and only 2 teams will be playing in the spotlight games on Wednesdays. With scheduling as well, we had dirtball tournaments. We know dirtball represented in the national tournament last year. We thought it's going to be a lot simpler if we integrate that schedule of the draft style individual rec tournament leagues into our spring leading up to a summer season. And this is going to be a way to get more people involved, those that are in the Indy area or those that are wanting to travel and be a part of kind of a Circle City Wiffle Ball network. They are 2 separate leagues. They run out of different player bases, and we want to be able to provide that as almost like a minor league system in a way now, feeding up to CCW, a way for us to scout new players. So we're planning on having some tournaments in March, April, and May, and that draft tournament that has been promoted on the free agent player waiver is going to be part of that. So I think that's the combine tournament set for May 15th, so keep an eye out on that. Opening night is going to be June 1st, and opening day, a Sunday, is June 5th. So that's exactly 5 months from this very release of the podcast on January 5th. 5 months, not 5 days. And with the innings that I mentioned on previous slides, we're going to have about a 16 to 18 game regular season schedule. Moving into the playoffs, of course, having these new rules added to roster composition and scheduling, we decided to ramp up the commitment in our league a little bit and have a 50% regular season attendance policy or rule. Any player that reaches based on 16 to 18 games, if you get like 8 or 9, half your team's games, you'll be able to play in the playoffs. And this is actually a pretty significant change. Historically, over the past handful of years, there has been an MLB style playoff where teams will face off in 3-game series over the course of probably a 2-week span. And it is just a gauntlet of arm injuries and just getting through it on minimal rest before we get to the Dirtyard Classic. And that also is entangled with bad weather, rainouts, rain delays. We've had it all, and we just thought, what is a way that we can get all of our teams and all of our players together for a tournament to end the year, but not fully end the year because we still want to keep the Dirtyard Classic intact. So the solution is our teams will be competing in a double elimination tournament all on one Sunday afternoon, and then the last two teams remaining, essentially the winner out of the losers bracket and the team that goes undefeated in the winners bracket, will be the Dirtyard Classic matchup that will take place a week later. So that double elim tournament is set for August 7th, and the Dirtyard Classic is set for August 14th. So all this being kind of wrapped up, we really wanted to focus as a committee on how can we re-energize our league from top to bottom. We know that if you're looking at last year, it was very evident based on data and rosters and everything that the moonshots and the short shorts create a very top-heavy league in terms of where the talent was on those rosters. And not that there weren't talented players on like the last place finishing team or the third, fourth, fifth, third through eighth, beyond those two that made the Dirtyard Classic. We just want to be able to have it be like almost a playoff atmosphere every night that we're out there, whether it be a Sunday or a Wednesday night matchup, instead of it just kind of being held to some specific spot matchups or waiting till the very end of the year to get that Dirtyard Classic thriller. We're going to be going down to 6 teams. Now, some would say that, well, you're reducing teams. You guys are gaining popularity. Shouldn't you be adding more? Well, there's a balance that we want to create of this inclusivity and exclusivity. As I mentioned before, we want to bring in new blood into the league. That's the only way that we're going to maintain and stay alive is if we're adding more players. And that's going to end up ultimately leading to more expansion, hopefully, as I noted here in 2023. But to create a selectivity and having deeper rosters and more talent on these 6 teams, especially with the pitching talent and the arms, we want to evenly disperse those. So we dropped down to 6. The team names and franchises will remain intact from year to year, so we won't have a player redraft. And teaser here, the franchises will be released soon, this upcoming month. But as you note there, all players have been released from their 2021 rosters except for the managers that will also be announced. So we won't necessarily be redrafting, like I said, from year to year or even this year. But I'm, again, not going to tease or over-tease anything there with an upcoming episode that will reveal this. So this is the big change that has never been done before in CCW, and that's free agency. We have, as a committee, we've watched online, on Twitter, all the excitement that builds up from free agency in HRL, in Skibby, other leagues that have advertised as such during the winter, and we're gonna join the party there. And in free agency February is going to be the first time for CCW experimenting with that. More details will be coming. I will not be sharing those details. That's where Brendan Dudas will come in. Our next episode of Dirtyard Dish will be airing next Wednesday, January 12th, and you'll have Commissioner Brendan Dudas on the call for that one. Get at us in our DMs or in our mentions if you have any questions about this. We're excited about all the changes that are upcoming, and we hope you are too. So thanks for joining us once again. This has been episode 1, season 4 of Dirtyard Dish. I am Rudy Lyon, Deputy Commissioner of CCW. We'll catch you later.
I can't wait to get back on the road again. Back again. Dude, like for the baggers. Back home again. Back home again. In Indiana land.